Let's turn to exploring the Shema, discussions on the issues of Trinity. We left off last week. I hate having to do this all the time. I'm going to need to find a better way to make the pages stay where I want them when I resize the font. We're basically in exploring the Shema paper 2, Yahweh and Yeshua, and we're in the section, Is Yeshua God? An appeal to mystery. So let's drop back down where we left off last week and pick this up. We're talking about, let me find it. Sorry about that. We're talking with Dr. Anderson. We're not really talking with him. We're just discussing his notes. Let's see. Where is it? Got to be an easier way to do this, Ariel. You're a technical guy. You should be able to figure this out. I will one of these days be able to figure this out and make it a little better. Here we go. Is Yeshua God? An appeal to mystery. And we're working through the notes of Dr. James Anderson, who is a Christian. He's a Trinitarian. And he introduced this acronym known as MACRUE, M-A-C-R-U-E. And in case you missed last week's study, episode number 147, which is available on my website and available on my YouTube channel, the gist of what we're talking about is this idea that when we talk about Trinity, when we're talking about the biblical terminology, often we want to say, well, the Bible is incoherent. It's logical nonsense because God is just one. There's only one God. Therefore, since the word Trinity isn't even found in the Bible, how can God possibly be three? And so, for New Testament Christians to say that God is three is a contradiction to the Old Testament Christians who say that God is one. Notice the apparent contradiction between saying that God is one, God is three. One of us is right and one of us is wrong. So, what Dr. Anderson proposes in his acronym MACRUE is that many times in the Bible, we're not talking about a real contradiction when we talk about the language of the Bible. What we're talking about is, what he says is merely an apparent contradiction that results from unarticulated equivocation. What does that fancy phrase mean? He's trying to say that the Bible doesn't really contradict itself. There aren't any contradictions in the Bible. Instead, because of our limited understanding, because of our information limitation in certain passages, because we can't quite fully comprehend the miraculous God that we serve, then we are left with apparent contradictions because we don't fully understand what we're reading sometimes. We have context that's taken away from us because we don't have enough detail in the text sometimes. We want more, and the Bible gives us little bit. So it's merely an apparent contradiction, and it's a result of the unarticulated equivocation. The word equivocation, remember, let me bring up the definition for you. The dictionary definition of equivocation is essentially the use of ambiguous language to conceal the truth or to avoid committing oneself. So, like for instance, let me just go like this and bring up the dictionary definition here. Equivocation, it's ambiguous language, vagueness, qualification, ambiguity, uncertainty, ambivalence, indecision, doubt, beating around the bush, evasion, dodging, hedging, fudging, doublespeak, fencing, parrying, vacillation. So you kind of get the idea from looking at my my dictionary definition. Am I saying that the Bible is trying to purposely confuse us? No, I'm not. Am I saying that the Bible contains highly technical terms from place to place that, without the benefit of context, can simply be equated as equivocation? Yes, I am. That's the challenge. The Bible sometimes uses language that on the face of it may mean one thing to one person and may mean one thing to a different thing to a different person. We talked about how that Jesus never just comes right out and says, I am God. And yet the Bible identifies him with the deity, with the being of God, with the power of God, with the oneness of God, without saying that the Son is the same person as the Father, because that would be a logical contradiction. So you understand that Jesus is God, but you also understand that the Son is not the Father. And so this is based on the equivocation on the term God. Does it mean the being known as God? Is it a statement of identity? Or does it mean the adjective, the quality of being God, like deity, right? Jesus is God. Does that mean Jesus is deity? Or does that mean Jesus is being known as God? Notice the equivocation or the ambiguity, the slight confusion between the question, is Jesus God or Jesus is God? We know that John says the Word was God, but is that a statement of predication? Meaning, is it an adjective? Or is it a noun? Jesus, the Word was God. The Word was the being God? Is that a statement of identity? Or was the word deity? The Word was God. We know the Greek article ha is missing, all right? Or ton, or tos, or ton, or something like that. Tain or te. I'd have to look at the original Greek right now, but you guys get the point I'm making. So let's jump back into where we left off.